I want to be honest with you guys. I don't even remember the Hitman's Bodyguard. I didn't even know that they had a sequel even coming out. But here's my review for it next. What's up, guys? This is Reviews with Ryan. Today's review is going to be on The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. This is directed by Patrick Hughes. He also directed The Hitman's Bodyguard and also Expendables 3. The film stars Samuel L. Jackson, Salma Hayek, Antonio Banderas, Ryan Reynolds, and Morgan Freeman. The plot stars Ryan Reynolds as Michael Bryce. He is continuing his relationship with Darius Kincaid, and they are trying to save his wife, Sonia. And the film, I have to say, Ryan Reynolds really carries this film. I think without Ryan Reynolds in this film is really not that much. I think Samuel L. Jackson in this film doesn't really do a whole lot for me. And the villain that is in this film, Antonio Banderas, actually is a pretty weak villain. I don't really think that he really adds a whole lot to the movie. The movie has lots of comedy. I do think it's kind of like a spoof at times. There is some action here and there, but really pretty much the film really focuses on the comedy aspect of it. I think Salma Hayek, she kind of is just in this role pretty much as this kind of good-looking female. And I do think with all three of them together, that it definitely takes away from the chemistry of all the characters rather than just having kind of like a duo, rather than having a trio of actors together. I think the chemistry isn't fully there when it's just the two people. And also, the plot of this film, if you're looking for like a really polished plot, this is not the film for you. I know a lot of people kind of have gripes about Ryan Reynolds' comedy and how he acts in films and how he's kind of the same in every film. He really doesn't change in this film. There's nothing with his type of comedy that he does different in this film than any other film. So if you're looking for that, this may not be the film for you. I do have to say, I did watch The Hitman's Bodyguard at one point, but I honestly don't even remember the film at all. It wasn't very memorable to me. And I feel like with this film, it probably will not resonate with me down the road. I do think that I did laugh in this, and there is some good comedy with it, and there's some decent action here and there, but I just don't think that they should make any more of these. I feel like it's at this point, and even I don't even think really technically a sequel needs to be made for this. I don't really think anybody really technically asked for a sequel to this. I think it was kind of surprising that a sequel was made, and I think when it came up, I think people were just like, what, there's a sequel? So I don't really think that this really adds much maybe to the first film at all, really. And Antonio Banderas, he's a great actor, but he is so weak in this as a villain. He barely is kind of in the film, and there really isn't really anything evil that he does for his power. And it's just really kind of bland, and there's not really a lot of evil going with the story. A couple other things I noticed, and it may be a little too picky, but when the action scenes are happening and the guns are going off, it's almost like they have like an unlimited amount of ammunition. There's no like reloading or anything, and it's just like a machine going off a bunch of times, and just there's no reloading. Another thing I noticed is a couple of the cinematography and the editing is kind of bad at points. It's almost at points where I know there was a scene where it's almost where it's just really unwatchable as far as like the editing goes. But overall, you're getting a film with lots of comedy, action that is a little bit few and far between, but it's not always the best action. And this film definitely has lots of language, violence. If that is up your alley, you're going to just love it. And honestly, I'm going to give the film a 2.5 out of 5 stars. For me, it's just a movie that has definitely some comedy and action, but it really lacks on the plot and story. A weak villain that is very unmemorable, And honestly, this is going to be a forgettable film for me for 2021, and it just wasn't there for me. But like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think of this film. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this film. I've seen a lot of bad reviews on this film. I've seen some okay reviews on this, but I haven't really seen any great reviews on this. So if you do want to see this film, I suggest that you check it out on Redbox, wait for on demand. I don't think that you should rush out to a theater unless you just love Ryan Reynolds or you really just love the first one. Maybe you would enjoy this one. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.